Okay, so we've seen that making the robot turn the way we've been doing it so far isn't terribly accurate. So we're going to take a look now at a more accurate way of making the robot turn. So I'm going to set up a new project in Lego Spike. So we've got our usual when program starts, and we're going to do all of the things that we've been doing with the movement. So I'm going to go to my movement section, and we're going to have the movement motor set to A and B. We're still going to be using the same circumference wheels of 17.5 centimeters, and we're going to set the movement speed. And this time we're going to use quite a low speed, so I'm going to use 20% instead of the 50% that we've been using previously. Okay, so we've got all of that. Now I'm going to set the next bit up here, which is how to make the motor turn to the right. Okay, so I'm going to go to Events, and I'm going to select when I receive, and at the moment it's saying message 1. Okay, now what we're going to do is to have a message for what to do when we get the instruction to turn right, and then we'll have a different message which we'll set up here for what to do when we get the message to turn left. Okay, so we'll have those two ready for that. So what we're going to do in both cases is go to our sensors, and whether we're turning right or turning left, we're going to set the yaw angle to begin with to be 0. Now that just gives the robot a start point to work from. Okay, so once we've done that, we're then going to get our robot to turn. So we're going to go to movement, and we'll have start moving. Now at the moment it says right 30. Now if I click in that box, I can change the angle, and I'm going to do that right the way round to move 100 degrees to the right. Okay, do the same thing here, but this time we're going to have it moving to the left, and notice angles to the left are negative, angles to the right are positive, so this is going to go to left minus 100. Okay, now what we're then going to do is to set up some control, and we're going to basically make it wait. So it's going to carry on waiting until we have a condition met. So we're going to set up the condition. So what we're going to do, first of all, for the right turn, we're going to use a greater than condition. So we want that arrow pointing this way. Okay, now we're going to want our motor to stop turning when the angle is greater than 89 degrees, in other words equal to 90 degrees. Okay, so we're going to do exactly the opposite here. Okay, now this is a negative angle, so instead of 100 I'm going to have minus 89 there, and then we're going to come down to our sensors, and we're going to drag this one out here. Now at the moment it says pitch angle, but once I've dragged it out I can change that to yaw angle. Okay, and that can fit into that box there. So that's going to start moving to the right, and we're going to wait until it hits greater than 89 degrees, and then we'll do the same thing over here. We'll pop that in there, we'll change it to yaw, and then when we get to that point we're going to stop moving. So we're going to come back to the movement section, and we're going to have a stop moving to finish off both of those blocks here. Okay, so I've got a section of code here to make the robot turn to the right, and an equivalent section of code here to make it turn to the left. Okay, now I could just use one of these blocks, these sets of blocks, and pop that on there and use that, and then make duplicates of all of that, but it's much more efficient to set them up here, and then we're going to use just 2 blocks over here to run those routines. So we're going to come back to events, okay, and we're going to look for broadcast. Okay, Now there's a broadcast like that, and there's a broadcast and wait. Now we're going to use broadcast and wait, so that just ensures all of the routine is completed before it moves on to the next step. Okay, so we've got our right there, we've got our left here, so now that we've set those up, they're available here. Okay, so this piece of code, when it's run, when it gets to this block, will broadcast right, which will then set off this set of blocks of code here and make the right turn. Okay, now equally we could set up broadcast left, and then when that instruction is left, that makes this set of blocks here run. Okay, so now anytime I want to make a right turn or a left turn, I can just use one of these blocks, so I don't have to keep repeating all of these blocks again and again. I can just use one block and then choose whether I want a left turn or a right turn. Okay, now each of these is set up to do 90 degrees, so if I have 2 left turns in a row, that's going to make 180 degrees. 3 left turns in a row will make 270 degrees, and 4 left turns in a row will make a full 360. Okay, so if we want more than 90, we can just use the same command over and over again to get the turn that we want. Okay, so you're now going to use this technique to complete the remaining missions on your Google Doc.